Hello, this is Riley from Stone Gold Pottery, and I'm here today to show you the process of kintsugi, Japanese kintsugi, which is repairing broken ceramics with resin and gold.
Okay, so the first part of kintsugi is called inspection. Inspection is a two-part process that includes a pre-assembly to ensure that we don't end up in a situation where pieces of pottery won't fit back into the original piece, and also sanding and preparation. Before we start sanding, it might help to define some parts of the break. So this white part here is the face, and the sharp parts are the edges. Each face has two edges. You might be asking yourself, why are we sanding? Well, we're sanding to create space for the gold in the kintsugi to go. So you can see this white line here wouldn't show up if we hadn't sanded, and that white line is going to be where the gold shows up on the piece. You'll know you're finished sanding when you can pull your finger over the edge of the piece and it doesn't feel sharp anymore.
Okay, so this is the gluing process, and I have two things. I have my super glue and my paper towel, and I'm going to be gluing the pieces together, right? The important thing to remember with this is not use too much glue, because using too much glue causes two problems. It makes it difficult for the pieces to tack together, meaning they won't stick right away, and you'll be fidgety and maybe it'll be challenging to get them to stick. And then also using too much glue causes the glue to build up on the surface, right? As you use too much, a lot, it squeezes out onto the surface and makes a mess, and super glue is very hard to clean. So we want to make sure that we use very little, and basically as little as we can get away with using, right? So when we're about to glue, what we want to do is basically preset our pieces so we can feel, okay, that is set, I know that, and we're not kind of trying to figure out where they go with the glue already on. So we're going to kind of do a little bit of a pre-assembly, feel that, okay, that's a good fit, I can feel that, I can come back to this place, right? And then we're going to apply the glue. So again, make sure that the tip of your nozzle is clean, wipe it off on the towel, and then you're going to apply a very thin layer, about as thin as you can, onto the face of the crack, and then this is the very important part here, you're going to actually wipe it back off, right? So you have a very, very thin coat here. That way when you go to assemble it, you go back to that place you found earlier, no wiggles, totally correct. Any buildup I'm going to clean off before it dries, before it hardens. Super glue is very difficult to clean, and then pretty much immediately, since we use so little, it's going to be tacked, and this will be a structural hold. Okay, so this is the last and final step in the kintsugi process, which is the resin and the gold application. This is my resin of choice here. It's linked through my profile, but it's food safe and heat safe and UV safe, and I learned recently that certain tea ceremonies actually use UV light to sterilize cups, and so that matters for some people. And what we're going to be doing now is mixing this two-part resin. As you can see, there's two parts. There's the resin and the hardener. You need to use both of them for it to work. If you just use one of the parts, it won't work. So you need to use equal parts. So if you can measure them or get the calibrated pumps, equal parts is a 1-to-1 ratio. The closer you can get to 1-to-1, the better. And then mix thoroughly. Okay, so I'm going to be applying the resin very roughly over the entire piece, without too much thought about where it's going, just kind of put it everywhere, right, over the entire piece. I'm even going to take my fingers and really press it and rub it in. Once I've done that, grab my paper towel and I'll actually clean the resin back off, right? I'm going to clean the resin back off. Take the gold powder and just rub it directly into the crack. You really want to spend as much time as possible really getting as much gold embedded into that crack as you possibly can. This is really going to be what sets the aesthetic, is just how much gold you can pack in there. And then what I'm going to do actually is put a little bit of resin back over it, back over the surface, and then do another clean, and then get some more gold in there. Some more gold in there. Really just pack it in there. All right. Once we've done that, we're going to start the cleaning process, which is kind of the last process. You will have to go back in and use a solvent. So alcohol is the best solvent I've found because acetone and lacquer thinners work a little bit too well. That resin off. We can see the gold has a decent effect there. And clean off the inside. And that is really, that's the final product. One of my favorite aspects of kintsugi and generally urushi work is the lack of emphasis on the artist, right? It's really about the work. The artist stands behind the work, right? And that's something that's very different from the way that art is approached in the US, and something that I really resonate with.
Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope that it was helpful, and please like and follow for more content like this, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.